A very warm welcome to our college readout this morning, and also a very warm welcome to High Representative and Vice President Kallas, Commissioner Kos in charge of Enlargement, and Commissioner Síkela in charge of international partnerships. High Representative, the floor is yours.
Thank you, and good day, everybody. So before updating on the college meeting, I will raise two issues. First, today EU and NATO hold a Chinese state-backed actor responsible for malicious cyber campaign against the Czech Republic. This attack is unacceptable breach of international norms. The EU will not tolerate hostile cyber actions, and we stand in solidarity with the Czech Republic. Then on the Middle East, the situation in Gaza remains dire. Israel's strikes in Gaza go beyond what is necessary to fight Hamas. Bypassing the UN in aid deliveries undermines humanitarian principles, and incidents challenging the special status of Jerusalem risk further escalating tensions. Now to the college meeting. So first, we discussed the EU strategy for startups and scale-ups. Executive Vice President Stéphane Séjourné and Commissioner Zahareva will join you in the press room later after this conference is over to present this initiative. We also appointed Elisabeth Werner as Director General for the Directorate General for Agriculture and Rural Development, DG Agri, and the date of effect is 1st of June 2025. And the spokesperson service will publish further details on this. And today we also adopted technical but important proposal to make EU aid tools more user-friendly. This includes simpler rules for faster and more accessible loans. We also propose moving surplus funds to across guarantee funds, and Commissioner Síkela will provide details on this, but the key point is that this could unlock several hundred million euro for external investment and aid. And we had also discussion on Monday with development ministers in the Foreign Affairs Council regarding these issues, how to really do more. The second proposal today is communication on the Black Sea. The Black Sea region is of great strategic importance to European Union because of the connection to Central Asia and Europe. It is important because of security, trade and energy. And also the region's countries are strengthening their ties with the European Union. Again, the feel of geopolitical shifts is there. Ukraine and Moldova are moving toward membership of the EU, Georgia too, if it returns to the EU path, and Turkey is a vital partner and a candidate country. But the region's potential is marred by Russia's war, reoccurring airspace violations and attacks on ports and shipping lanes highlight this reality. Commissioner Kos will address other elements, but on security our focus is on three priorities. First, we are proposing a Black Sea maritime security hub. This hub will be Europe's early warning system in Black Sea. It will enhance situational awareness and help protect critical infrastructure, like offshore installations and subsea cables. The hub could also help monitor any peace between Russia and Ukraine, and in parallel we will put greater efforts into demining. That is also very big threats in the Black Sea. Programs such as EU's Maritime, Fisheries and Agriculture Fund can help to map the threats posed by mines. Second, military mobility. We propose additional upgrades of regional ports, railways, roads, and airports to handle heavy military gear. Upgrades will help to ensure troops can be where they are needed, when they are needed. Getting equipment to the region faster strengthens deterrence and also supports NATO. Alongside upgrades, we want better screening of foreign owners, imports, and key facilities. And third point is on hybrid threats. So Black Sea region is the prime target for hybrid actions. The European Union aims to boost cooperation to combat cyber attacks, disinformation, and other hostile actions. We will invest in artificial intelligence to fight disinformation, promote media literacy, and enhance fact-checker networks. And once again, the security of the Black Sea is vital also to European security. Thank you.
Thank you, High Representative. Commissioner Kos.
Thank you. Thank you, Kaja, for mentioning the first pillar of the Black Sea strategy, and I will speak now about more the second and the third, which is about competitiveness, resilience also. So why are we doing this? We are answering to the geopolitical challenges we are living today in. So we see the world in which dependencies are being weaponized. We see the world where we need to diversify energy, transport, and also digital links. And the Black Sea is the bridge to the South Caucasus and Central Asia. It is a vital artery for us about trade, energy flows, and food exports, and its stability is central also for our security, as mentioned. So how can we build this stability? Second pillar, the connectivity. We will develop new energy corridors, transport links, and digital infrastructure to the Caucasus and Central Asia, together with our partners from the Black Sea region. Our partners in Central Asia want that as much as we do. Around the world, countries are now looking for cooperation with reliable and predictable partners, which the EU is. We Europeans are just that, and such partnerships will make us collectively more secure and create business opportunities for everyone. This will help us diversify away from Russia, as we committed in Repower EU. It will help us de-risk our energy systems, and it will help us unlock new investment opportunities for clean technology deployment. In this respect, it matters greatly that in the Black Sea area, this is the home to EU members, this is the home of the EU candidate countries, and this is the home also, the third category of the partners who are pursuing closer ties to the EU. So this means that we already have some frameworks in place to work together on investments and make sure new infrastructure is synchronized with the EU standards and linked up with our transport and energy corridors. We will use our Global Gateway initiative and work together with our member states and financial institutions to bring public and private investment connecting Europe with Asia. And a third pillar, very important, we will also reinforce the preparedness of coastal communities and blue economy sectors. This will enable Black Sea countries to tackle war-related environmental damage. There is a lot of this there. Respond to climate change risks and seize opportunities for sustainable growth. To close, we will do all that working closely with the EU member states, because this is really how can we assure security, how can we diversify energy supplies, and how can we build on trade routes for all European as well as our partners. So we see this as a win-win for all.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Síkela.
Thank you very much. Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to explain our simplification measures that will strengthen the financing of our external actions. As some of you may have noticed, as Commissioner for International Partnerships, I have spent a large part of my mandate on missions around the world, and I clearly see that the world wants more Europe. Our goal under the Global Gateway Strategy is to use this momentum to strengthen our partnerships abroad and support sustainable development of our partners, while also opening new opportunities for our companies. It is clear that the success of this effort depends on the financial firepower we are able to deploy. The measure we approved today will help us to make our external financing tools more effective and also simplify procedures for our implementing partners, namely development financial institutions like the European Investment Bank, European Bank for Reconstruction of Development, but also the Member States development banks like the Kreditanstalt für Wiederaufbau, AfD, Cofides, and many others. As you know, guarantees are an important part of our financial toolbox. They back loans provided by the banks to support our development projects, lowering the risk and reducing interest rates for our partners. When these projects are successful, the guarantees are not called and the funds are returned to the EU. The measure adopted today changes that. It allows to redeploy unused funds from guarantees that were not called, unlocking new funds in the amount of approximately 500 million euro. These funds can be further leveraged and multiplied. It means that based on current practice, we may be able to mobilize, depends on the multiplicator, but around 10 billion euro for our additional investments in partner countries under the Global Gateway. And we will not need new budget resources. The adopted measure also reduces the EU first loss coverage of the EIB sovereign lending from 65 to 60, making our budget go further and strengthening our impact. Finally, by simplifying audit procedures for development financing institutions, we estimate this measure will save around 20 million money that can we now spend on development rather than bureaucracy. This is a smart strategic update to our financial architecture and necessary step if we seek to deliver more impact with every euro we invest. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. We can now take questions on these very important files, the Black Sea Strategy and the External Action Guarantee. David, go ahead.
Yeah, one question for the High Rep. So how will the Black Sea Strategy help Ukraine? That's the first question. And then the second one is, it's quite specific. How does the Black Sea Strategy, how does that tie into preventing circumvention of EU sanctions? We've mentioned Russia, disinformation, cyber warfare several times. And then the third and final question is, specifically, you know, that oil section, that exporting of crude, can you confirm that $50 is something that is being mentioned? Is that a figure that we can move towards? And when would we see the 17th package? Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So how will this help Ukraine? First, I mean, Ukraine and as well as Moldova are, I mean, Black Sea countries, and we see Black Sea being weaponized, really. So we see that, you know, grain is the trade route to export grain is via Black Sea, and we also see that this war is really making it much harder. So we have different steps here. Of course, first we need to see the war ending, that we can also step up with this approach here. But what is I think important is that we keep the Black Sea in mind, that we help with the security guarantees when it comes to the Black Sea as well. We have the coalition of the willing discussing different security guarantees. We see that we have to also come in with different proposals to support these security guarantees from our side. So in this strategy, we have points that we are putting forward. Military mobility, I already mentioned. Also the ownership of the ports, because it's also important to know who is behind the critical infrastructure. It's also about the undersea cables protection, and there we are closely working with NATO. What more can we do? It's about patrolling the lines. It's about the hybrid threats in the region that are also beneficial for Ukraine's security. It's much interlinked. Then on the prevention of the prevention of circumvention, it doesn't really address these issues, but I think that if we have information sharing, for example, about the ports ownerships and all these things, we have more monitoring and also cooperation with the countries around, then we also have more information. If we have more information on these things, we can also address better the circumvention. And on the oil price cap, if you recall, then in the beginning, when the oil price cap was introduced, the agreement was that it will always be 5% lower than the market price. So this was the initial agreement. It hasn't been executed in a way, but we are looking into different ways to do it. And of course, as you know, the Council needs to approve all this, so the discussions are ongoing. And when are we coming out with the sanctions package? I mean, the intense work is going on as soon as possible, I would say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Alexandra Brzozowski from Euractiv. I have a couple of questions for the High Representative on the new Maritime Security Hub. Is there already an idea where this hub will be located? How much will it cost? And is there already also an idea of what assets this would require from member states? And my second question is, you mentioned that the hub could support the negotiation and monitoring of ceasefires. Can you share any details how you would envisage that could be operationalized? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will work with the member states on the suitable location and also the operational model, because I think, again, it is important that it will be regional, not national, because it's a European project. And of course, as you know, the discussions on the next MFF are ongoing. So the cost of this hub also very much depends on the location and the operational model that we need to agree with the member states. So the MFF, the discussions are ongoing, but I think it's important also that we need the member states' input for the hub, because the understanding is there, that is necessary, but we also need to see the financial support for that. Thank you. Ceasefire, yes, that was. Yes, the ceasefire monitoring. So first of all, we need to have a ceasefire, what we don't have right now. We don't see any signs of that yet. When we have the ceasefire, then we have different options. I mean, first is the information exchange of the security situation, and there also what member states are willing to do in order to that. It is also more integrated and interoperable systems to monitor the situation, because it's important to have the understanding who does what, and then also the tools that we can put forward to the maritime security. But it's in cooperation with NATO, and it also needs a decision of the Council.
Thank you. Jorge.
Hello, Jorge Libareiro with Euronews. 2 questions for you, High Representative. The first one, I noticed that the strategy speaks about the shadow fleet. This has been a recurrent concern for the European Union for a long time now. Do you think that, given the threats that the shadow fleet poses to Europe's security and environment, do you think that the next step should be an EU military operation or EU mission to monitor, inspect, and possibly seize these vessels from the shadow fleet? Do you think this should be the next step in the crackdown? And second question on the oil price cap that my colleague mentioned, do you think that the European Union can lower the price cap without the support of the United States? Thank you.
Thank you. So shadow fleet is becoming a bigger problem for European Union. We see also our adversaries finding new ways to use it. It's not only a threat to security, but it's also a threat to environment, what we see. And of course, we are coming up with proposals, but our adversaries are also finding new ways. And therefore, we have the Baltic Sentry from NATO operating in the Baltic Sea, but I think we also need more comprehensive approach for other maritime environments as well, because we see those threats and the shadow fleet operating everywhere. So the discussions are ongoing about the rules, because right now in the maritime domain, if you look at the international agreements, there are many limitations on really addressing these threats. So therefore we need to work also with our international partners to address these concerns. When you can go, when you can stop a ship and all these things that need much broader attention than only European Union. And then on the oil price cap, of course, we are working so that it would be the unified approach with the United States as well as European Union. We have heard President Trump saying that he's losing patience with Putin. Then we know that there's also senators' package proposed. So we hope to work with the United States in the same direction. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you for the floor. Vitaly Sizov, UATV, Freedom. To follow up on security center, the idea of center which could control the security and ceasefire on Black Sea was proposed to Bulgaria during the meeting of Coalition of Willingness in Paris in March. Is these ideas in some way connected? Could be considered as a part of coalition of willingness with participation of Turkey, Bulgaria, I think Romania, and maybe other countries? Thank you.
Thank you. It shows how fast and agile European Union is. If the proposal was in March, and voila, we are coming with the strategy already. But jokes aside, yes, the coalition of the willing are discussing the different security guarantees, and of course we as European Union are also thinking what we can bring to the table. Black Sea strategy is a very comprehensive approach, taking all these ideas and putting them together. The Maritime Hub is one of the flagship projects for this to address the concerns, and also keep in mind, if the ceasefire is in place, we also need the security guarantees. So it shows good cooperation also by member states and the ideas, and also the implementation needs to be together with them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Antoine Muto for Japanese TV and NHK. This is as well a question for the High Representative. since you mentioned the latest news from the Czech Republic about potential Chinese hacking, I was wondering whether this could in any way, this new development, jeopardize the upcoming EU-China summit in July. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, we are determined to counter malicious behavior in cyberspace. And again, everything is very much connected to cyberspace nowadays. So these threats are actually very, very serious. What we have done is really to address these things case-by-case basis. We have put sanctions on companies who have done it before. Of course, we will raise them with our Chinese counterparts as well, because it imposes threat to our security, and we definitely remain ready to also impose costs for these kind of attacks. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I have a follow-up.
Thank you, High Representative. I would like to know still whether this could have any impact on the summit, because I understand you will mention it, but is it something which could make the EU summit kind of difficult, and will there be any turmoil because of this? Thank you.
Yes, I heard your question, but I don't have a good answer to this. The presidents of the Council and the Commission are very much determined to have this summit, and the agreements are there. So I think we will still have the summit, but it's just my opinion. So that's why I don't have a direct answer to you. I think it is important that we have places where we can address these issues, the threats that are imposed on us, and it's better to have the opportunity to talk about these things and hopefully have a change of behavior.
Thank you very much. I still see a question in the room. And then we take some questions from Interactio.
Hello, Beatriz Rios for the Washington Post. HRVP, you have mentioned Gaza in your introductory remarks. I was wondering if you can confirm that EU aid is being distributed under the new system that the Israeli government has implemented, and if you are okay with it, considering that shots had been fired at people who were trying to get that aid. I was also wondering, because in the past you have mentioned that you have offered help to the Israel government to distribute aid. How is that going? Is there in any way involvement of the EU in this process? And are you in contact with the US regarding all this? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. The majority of the aid is sponsored by Europe, really, that is behind the borders and is not reaching people, and that's why we are addressing this also with our Israeli counterparts, that the humanitarian aid is there to go for the people. We have also been very clear on not supporting any kind of privatization of the distribution of humanitarian aid. Humanitarian aid cannot be weaponized. It has to be in accordance with the humanitarian principles, and therefore we have the humanitarian aid organizations that are able to provide that aid. We have been very, very clear about that. And of course, we are working with our counterparts in Israel and hoping that our allies everywhere will do the same to really help the people, because the suffering of the people there is untenable, and we have the tools to help them.
Thank you. I will now take questions from Interactio. Any other questions on the Black Sea strategy or the external assistance guarantee? Angela, go ahead.
Okay, thanks. My question is on Gaza. Angela Mauro, Post. High Representative, since you've mentioned Gaza in your introductory remarks, I'd like to ask you, it's been 1 week since you launched the review of the association agreement with Israel. Are there any updates on the timeline of this review? Thanks.
Yes, thank you. So we had a very intense discussion with the foreign affairs ministers, and we decided to launch the review. So the review is being conducted right now, and the aim is to also have it so that we can have the discussion with the foreign affairs ministers in June with results, and also I intend to present options for the member states then.
Thank you very much. Do we have any other questions on today's topics? Yes.
Hello, Joachim Clementi from Estonian Public Broadcasting. Sorry to jump a bit, but in a recent letter, the transport ministers from the Baltic states addressed to the Commission concerned that the Rail Baltic project is running gravely over budget and it requires more EU funding. Considering this is also an important project in another region still, but for military mobility as well, do you think there's options for more EU funding from this umbrella?
No, I can answer in a very general term, is that the discussions on the MFF are ongoing, and of course it is clear that I mean, when we have had those discussions so far, there are very many needs. And Rail Baltic, of course, ticks the box when it comes to the military mobility, for example. But we need to discuss all these things together, and these discussions are ongoing as we speak.
Thank you very much. Yes, let's stay on today's topics. Please go ahead.
It's a bit of a stretch, but Angela Scooges from TVP World. We've read various media reports of election meddling and foreign interference during these democratic contests. I'm thinking about Romania, for example, but I work for the Polish public broadcaster, so there's going to be the second round of that presidential election runoff occurring this weekend, which is why it's an important question. How significant are free and fair elections to guarantee stability and security within Europe, and what is the EU doing to ensure that these contests occur within this framework? Thank you.
Thank you. Free and fair elections are extremely important because democracy is built on trust, and when people don't trust elections, it has a concrete effect on democracy, and this is dangerous because then we see, autocratic powers on the rise, and there we know that the interests are completely different than in democracies where you take everybody's views into account. So what are we doing about this? We have developed in the External Action Service tools to fight foreign malign influence, especially in elections. For example, the toolbox that we have has also been given or it's made available for Moldova, for example, because there we see a lot of Russian interference, really trying to not have the free and fair elections. And of course, there are many elements in those toolbox. I mean, one is the really the media literacy of people, but then the other part is also the fact checkers, and this is very complex. But it is important that we work with this. It is important that we also make these things transparent and show people, because, like I said, democracy is based on trust, and if people don't know what exactly to trust, what is true, what is not, then they will not make their choices based on informed decisions. But saying all that, it's extremely hard because we are living in an information age, and the lies travel very fast. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Sorry, I have another round of questions on the Black Sea strategy on Turkey. The first question to the High Rep. I understand that the strategy would obviously aim for closer cooperation with Ankara. Did you receive any indication from the Turkish side what they would be willing to contribute possibly in the future? And another question for Commissioner Kos, and it's on enlargement. Ankara's accession process has been frozen for many years. Do you view the strategy as a potential opening for a reset, or do you consider this as independent from this discussion? Thank you.
Thank you. This new Black Sea strategy is also invitation to work more closely together on the topics that are of interest to all countries around the Black Sea, including Turkey. We are committed to enhance maritime situational awareness and work closely together with our partners, and also information sharing, what is happening and what we can do about this with all the Black Sea partners. And this is in the interest of Turkey too. And the outcomes can be, or all the countries around the Black Sea can benefit from these outcomes. So it is also clear that security of this region cannot lay on the shoulders of few countries only, but it has to be a really cooperative approach to this. So, of course, we are also working together with Turkey regarding this.
Regarding the accession process, there are 3 countries which are candidate countries and are also part of the Black Sea strategy. So accession process and the strategy are complementary, especially because, as said, we will not use any new financial instruments for this. So we have a Ukraine facility, we have a growth plan for Moldova, and we also have 270 million from the resilience and growth plan for Armenia. So we will build on this, in my opinion. All what we will do in the Black Sea strategy could contribute to a better cooperation between the countries and also for the good neighborly relations. And of course, we are now really doing good progress in the accession process when I speak about the technical part, and we will go on there with the full speed.
Thank you very much. I'll take one more question from Interactio. Valeria.
Hello, can you hear me?
We hear you and we see you. That's even better. Welcome.
Hello, the public broadcaster of Ukraine, Valeria Pashko, and my question is to Marta Kos. Actually, it's a follow-up, I guess. So given all the problems with Hungary now, I mean, in terms of blockage the Ukrainian moving forward to the joining the EU. Do you foresee opening at least one cluster of accession talks by the end of June, if maybe it will happen during the EU core or maybe earlier? Do you have any predictions on that? Thanks.
I see the possibility of opening all the clusters in this year. But we have to do a lot of work. So one is the screening process. We have already delivered screening reports on the clusters 1, 2, and 6 to the Council. Ukraine and also Moldova have delivered documents needed to move forward. Now the Council have all the elements to make a decision, and we hope that this will happen swiftly. We are already doing the screening processes for all the other clusters, and we hope that in September or the beginning of October, all the screening reports will be done. And concretely to your question, yes, I'm optimistic that we could open cluster 1 still under the Polish presidency, not just for Ukraine, but also for Moldova.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay, I'll take the last question, and we go, if it's okay with the speakers, Ekrem, and then we wrap it up, okay?
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. Hi.
Yes. Does the strategy proposed has the component of energy? As the EU is moving forward for ending the Russian energy supplies to the member countries and the candidate countries eventually, because some of them are part of the region, does the strategy has a component of the Russian energy supplies to the countries?
Just a general comment. I think in this strategy it's also very, very important to look at the maps to understand how important this region really is, also to energy and also connectivity, but Marta can talk about in details.
Thank you, Kaja. This kind of connectivity is built on three pillars. It is connectivity in the transport, it's connectivity in the energy and in the digital part. And yes, this is well connected. Just in the example, we already have energy plans for Ukraine and Moldova to be completely decoupled from the Russian energy sources, and this would happen until the end of 2027. Just for the comparison, the Baltic states needed 15 years to be completely integrated in the European electricity market. And of course, we hope that the Black Sea strategy will enhance the cooperation on the energy sector, especially with Armenia and Azerbaijan.
Thank you very much. And with this, we have come to the end of this readout. A very warm welcome to the HRVP and the two commissioners. Stay tuned. We have another extremely interesting press conference that awaits you in a few moments on the EU Startup and Scale-up strategy. Thank you very much and have a nice day.